And this is Chaim Schmidt from the Kosher Scene. Today we will be discussing Passover food and wine pairing. To discuss the subject with us, we have Costas Mouzouras from Gotham Wine on 94 and Broadway in Manhattan, and Geila Hocherman, the author of Kosher Revolution.
Hi, Geila.
Hi, Costas.
So you remember about a year ago,
Yeah.
I got this phone call. Somebody that was putting together a cookbook, and you'd like to pair it with wines. And I'm like, no, this is not a good time. It's Passover right now. I don't want to be bothered with it. But yet there you were. You showed up with your folder and all your pages and going through and flipping through the pages with the wonderful pictures. And tell me about the photographer that happens to be from my country as well.
Our
right?
fellow Cypriot,
Yes.
exactly. I knew I had you at that point.
Yeah, well, I knew his work. So we took wine, you place an order, and then here we are a year later. Book out and published.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Kosher Revolution it is. And it actually, I believe it fits both of our goals. You change around the food, and we're experiencing the revolution of the kosher wine as well, which
I
is
think
an
kosher
ongoing.
across the board.
It's a revolution.
It is a revolution.
It is a revolution.
People's tastes have been elevated, and they've created markets for both of us.
That's correct. That's correct. And it's an exciting time.
It is.
Every day, new wine, new excitements. So here we are, a year later, Passover one more time, and you're going to try and introduce people to some new dishes and
Yeah,
wine pairings.
right.
Okay.
Although I'll tell you, Passover is not the perfect time for new. It's a very traditional time as far as the food is concerned, but the food can be very elevated by
But
the
tradition
wine.
can be revolutionized,
Yes.
retouched.
Yes,
Right.
tweaked.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what we all do. That's what we aim for. Introduce
Exactly.
a twist without breaking the rules.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are we starting? What do we have over here?
Well, I just have a couple of representative dishes that are a little bit different than the traditional Passover fare. This is a chicken tagine, which has a lot of sweet and spice that I think you probably have something wonderful to put with. And usually I try not to have too many things with sauces. So if my chicken is going to have a sauce, then I'll serve a plain roast beef with it. If I'm going to serve a brisket that's in a sauce, then I'll serve a plain roast chicken with that. Because I find that people want to take both items on one plate, and it gets to be a bit of a mess.
Absolutely, but that's part of our culture. We have to taste everything.
You
That's
have
the
to
rule.
taste
That's rule
everything.
number one.
Yeah,
Taste everything.
absolutely. It's
And-
not always on the same plate, remember?
That's true. That's true.
And here we have a dish. It's called a mina. It's a Turkish dish. So I'm going more to the Middle East for this holiday. And it's basically a lasagna, but it's made with matzah. And I have layered in between it Swiss chard with pine nuts and a balsamic gastrique, and then another layer of artichoke hearts, another layer of mushrooms, and then a layer of lamb.
I can't wait to taste those. I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking.
And I'm looking and I'm looking. And
Well,
I'm
yeah,
looking.
so for my idea of what I expect to experience with the food and what I would like to have in my glass when I'm enjoying that food, we're going to taste the Merlot. We're going to taste actually the Tulip Merlot, which is brand new in the US, and it is the first kosher vintage of the wine made. And an interesting thing to remember about Tulip is they do work with the local community, and it's all about people with needs or special needs, and they do run the vineyards, they do work at the winery, they do make the wine.
That's wonderful.
So it's a great concept. I fell in love with the wines from the day I tasted them, I guess 6-7 years ago. Love the concept. Unfortunately, because it wasn't kosher, it wasn't really an easy sellable item for the US.
Where's
But
the name?
now that it is, Israeli,
Uh-huh.
I know. You want specifics.
All right.
So that's the first red. And the second red is the El Valle Cabernet Franc. So I'm a big Cabernet Franc fan. And this is definitely one of the ones that I favored quite a bit. So that is the first pairing for the chicken.
Okay. Well, how about if I give you a little piece of chicken?
Sure. This is the best part.
Yeah. Dark or light?
Dark, please.
Yes. I also favor the dark myself.
More flavor.
Yeah, more flavor, and it's more forgiving. It doesn't overcook as easily. And when you're cooking for a big crowd, it's one way to ensure that your chicken's going to stay juicy.
Or you break the rule and you make another sauce.
Or what I like to do is I only cook it about 2/3 of the way through, and then when it's reheating in the oven, it finishes itself off. So which one is first? This is the
Okay,
tulip?
nope. This would be the tulip, and this is the Cabernet Franc.
Okay.
So
You eat.
you're not.
L'chaim. No, I've been looking at it all day.
You've been looking- I've been looking at wine all day.
Mm. It's got a very, very nice nose.
All the berries, all the plum. It's firm. It's young. It's 2010.
Yeah.
But one thing that I love what they're doing as well, they call it just Merlot, which that simply letting you know that it's 100% Merlot. And they have a just Cabernet, which is the other one that we got this year. I think this wine for the price level is superb. And they came in much, much less expensive than I expected to see a new Israeli wine in the market. In fact, I was expecting to see it twice the price than it is right now.
It's a lovely, light, fruity wine, and I think it will pair nicely with the
And I
chicken.
wanted the fruit because of the
fruit
tagine
and the
flavors.
tagine.
Yes.
Exactly. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I will say, let's skip the wine. Let's get into the chicken.
It's been so many years for me.
Mm-hmm.
So because I did the book this year, I had to make every recipe 1,000 times.
About 1,000 times.
Exactly. So that's why I started
But
experimenting
every
with the
time you
meaning.
make it, though, you add a new element. So it's okay, revision for the next one.
Sometimes, yes, but some recipes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
Leave it alone. This is an experiment altogether, where I looked at 7 different Mina recipes and came up with my own.
But I liked the lasagna rediscovered.
Right.
I sort of made up or combined different aspects of different recipes and made up a vegetarian lasagna a week ago. And to my surprise,
without cheese.
without cheese and no meat either. And it was quite flavorful.
Any egg?
Nope.
Wow, you're going vegan on me.
Vegan completely.
Wow.
The only experimentation was my bechamel.
Right.
I
We
went
had
for
that
the
discussion.
Well, I went for the.
Did you look in the book, though? I said soy.
You said soy.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
thought-
used coconut.
I used coconut. Somehow I thought that it said coconut. And
Coconut
the
I
first
use
time
in the
around-
creme brulee.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's where I saw the substitution. It's okay. It's
Jewish
chicken.
dog. It's pretty good. And what's this one?
That's the Ella Valley Cabernet Franc. So this is their new vintage release. We had 07, skipped 08, we're to 09.
It looks much thicker.
Much darker. Cabernet Franc, it's a very rich red. It's a little bit more vegetal than Cabernet Sauvignon,
Wow.
but
I like it's got a really nice vanilla note to it. Mm. It has a very nice finish.
big wine. Let's just forget the big tannins because we just opened them. But
No,
other
no,
than
I'm
that,
not-
the wine.
Did I say a word?
No, no.
I didn't say a word. No.
But it is a young
It'll-
wine and it will be tannic. It does need its breathing time.
Yeah, it
That-
needs to
that
breathe,
they-
but it's delicious.
Absolutely. I love it. It is my favorite Cabernet Franc that we have right now.
It's very good.
And by far, the winery never really let me down. They produce quality wines no matter what.
Uh-huh. But they've always been kosher.
Yes, as far as I remember. I don't remember that wine in any other format.
Okay, great.